Hey, are you ready for this week's WW topic for the week? And did you hear what they did on Friday to 20 of their employees? Well, I'll give you the scoop and this week's WW meeting topic right now. Hey, it's time to dish with D. That's me. Thank you for this video and everything WW. To Monday here, we do the Weight Watchers Weekly Meeting topic, my weigh-in. So if you are not subscribed, I highly recommend, it is free, hit that subscribe button. Join us here at Dish with D, where we tackle weight loss, healthy lifestyle, and all that fun things in between. So join us here and check and see if you're still subscribed. I've had people tell me that YouTube unsubscribes them. I don't like to hear that. So if you just look down and see if that thing is still checked. And make sure you hit that bell notification, let you know when I upload and when I go live, because I go live here frequently lately, but we're getting better. Let's put ourselves on do not disturb so when you hear those dings. Okay, here we go. Alrighty. What a week. Let's start off with what happened on Friday. One of my lovelies messaged me. I didn't even hear it. I mean, it's been crazy here. This house is under construction. If you did not know, we started some construction here. We're getting doors currently. So today was the first door got replaced, our slider in the kitchen. We have 2 new side doors and then 2 new front doors. So they will all be coming sometime this week. So it's been crazy. That's why this video is going up late. I thank you for, So apparently there was a layoff. 20, a little over 20, I think. Mostly I've heard it's the ones that, if you saw the Zooms and you see the coach and you'd see the assistant, the virtual assistant. Now, some coaches did do both. They did do coaching and virtual assistant. But from what I hear, mostly the virtual assistants they're restructuring and reconfiguring things. To me, can't you reconfigure and then lay off people? I mean, and my other big thing, I get, it's a business. I totally understand things change, and we have a business. I understand that. My only complaint, if there was one, was why not give them a week? We have to give 2 weeks notice to leave a job, but you could fire me and say you're done today. Yeah, I think a lot of people wanted to say something to these people, they're like family and friends to some people. You know what? They look forward to seeing these people every week, sometimes 2 to 3 times a week. So I feel like they didn't get that closure, or at least that, sentiment. But a few of the coaches said if she worked with, I guess, a guide for a lot, or I should say a virtual assistant, leave a comment on her Connect group and she will give it to that, virtual assistant. And a few of the coaches did get let go. Here's a fun fact. And I said this last night. I did a little live because I thought we needed to talk about it. This is not the end for them. If they really miss that, do YouTube. FYI. Do a Patreon. Do there's so much social media you can do and get your word out there and keep up with your peeps. Because like I said, everybody connects with somebody different. That's just how the world works. And if you really enjoyed that kind of atmosphere, and let's face it, we all know Weight Watchers wasn't paying big buku bucks. So it's not even, I think it's just the whole atmosphere. And a lot of them, they said, were members. So you should be able to, they might have their Connect name a little bit different than say Coach so-and-so or, virtual, So that's the thing, is just trying to find them. But yeah, and it's sad. And the ones that were left, that didn't get the boot are kind of sad because they feel like, oh my gosh, I feel terrible. And these are their friends. If you work with somebody like that's your virtual assistant there, you get close with them. They know, if you've ever watched them, you see how they work together, kind of like simpatico. So there's a relationship there. So some of them it was just very, very, very sad. So we have to regroup and, see how the meetings are going to go. Check out new coaches. Don't just give up. There's got to be another one that you might connect with. So, all right, that's the scoop. We'll see it's funny. I'm thinking it's November. Is that what their November change was? Because they usually always have a program change in November. So is that the change? We're going to kick some people out? I don't know. We'll see. I haven't heard anything about any kind of program change. Before you ask me, I have not heard anything. If you have, let me know. But I have not personally heard anything yet. I always say. Oh, okay. How was your weigh-in, D? Well, I have started incorporating daily weigh-ins. I know I'm usually against that, but I think for this purpose, I'm not going to continue. I don't think I'm going to continue to do it. But I feel like for this, like I wanted to have this no gain December, or if I gain, it's minimal, because let's face it, we fluctuate. So to have a gain is not out of the ordinary. Like that's why you have a 2-pound window. But I don't want to gain 8-10 pounds. That's not a fluctuation. That's eating. And I want to keep myself in check. So with daily weigh-ins, what I do, and again, you can agree or disagree with me on this. This is just how I'm doing it. You get your weight. I do the average. What's what I'm winning weight daily. And then I do the average for the week. If you do it 5 days, you do it 7 days, whatever many days you get weighed, you add them all up and divide it. And then that gives you the average weight. So my average weight was down 2 pounds. No, 0.2. I was down 2 pounds. I'm like, really? No, 0.2 for the week. So I'm really happy about that. But I don't want it to work crazy with me. I want it to be where if I'm up a little one day, maybe I'll be more mindful and, more focused. Because sometimes I'm not mindful and I'm not focused enough. I know you're all shocked about that. So, but that's what I'm doing. I don't know if I want to continue. We'll see. Because sometimes it also works crazy for me. Like, oh my God, why am I up? I was perfect, stellar yesterday. Yeah, I don't want to get crazy. So, but definitely going to help me through the month of the next 6 weeks, which the November theme is Get in the Zone. Wasn't that a Britney Spears song, Get in the Zone? I think it was. But it Get in the Zone. It's those power moves that we all talked about, all those playbook things from last month. We are putting them into play. And this week is a favorite topic of mine. It is ultra-processed foods. Now, I sat through a few Zooms, and one of them was, I think her name is Lauren. I was, so, when you sit through so many, you forget who's who. She's the chef. I'm pretty sure it's Lauren D. Is what I'm thinking. I'm pretty sure it's her. And I did follow her on Instagram too, and a few of them that left I followed on Instagram because they put that there. Anyway, she had a lot of good things to say, especially coming from the culinary standpoint. I mean, you could sit there and say to yourself, I'm not eating ultra-processed foods. I'm not doing that. And a lot of people even agreed in the meeting, yes, we should have less processed foods. I'm not going to sit there and tell you we shouldn't. But could you sit there and say you're never going to have an ultra-processed food? No, you definitely should limit things like that. And we're going to go over there's different levels. 90% of food is processed. I mean, I told somebody that one time that cheese is processed. It is. Cheese doesn't come out of the cow like a block of cheese. It's just weird things like, things, and it depends how many times they're processed and the way that they're processed. I'm not here to debate any of that. Before we get on to that, I'm not here to debate that. I'm not here to debate what you eat and how much you eat. It's not my place. I do me and you do you. If you don't want to ever eat an ultra processed food, then don't. I'm never going to sit here and ever preach what you should and shouldn't eat and what is bad and what is good. Food does not have a moral value. No food is bad. Some foods should be limited like anything else in life. Should I be eating full fats of everything? No. So it's just kind of like, it's just whatever works for you. And what works for you doesn't work for Janie. What works for Janie doesn't work for Sally Mae. So we're all different. Know your body. But please, just do not blame food for the reason that you've gained weight. Oh, it's the type of food I'm eating. No, it's the amount of food you're eating 90% of the time. But we don't want to say that because then, but a lot of times it's that. So I mentioned that. Come find out what ultra-processed food is and how you can use this information to create your pattern of eating. So yeah, did they give us next week's? Check in with yourself. Okay, that's next week. All right, I'm excited about that one. Research tells us between ultra-processed foods and the risk for several health conditions, including obesity, heart disease, and type 2 diabetes. Now, that is true. But not having one hot dog a week, we're talking like if you have a diet mostly consisting of highly processed foods, then you're at more risk for that. There are people that eat like crap and don't have any health problems. They are. And there are people who eat stellar and have health problems. Everybody said it all factors in hereditary, family history, which is the same thing, and diet, exercise. It's just not one simple thing. Just give up ultra-processed foods and your life will be fabulous. I wish that were true, but it's not. Alrighty. So they put them into 4 groups, these ultra-processed. There's several different levels, is what I should have said. I didn't bring my water down. I'm telling you, that man up there is driving me nuts. Excuse me. All right, group 1. Unprocessed or minimally processed fresh, what are foods? Fresh or frozen fruits and vegetables, grains, legumes, meat, fish, eggs, nuts, and seeds. Because the way they come is the way we eat them. We don't change anything about meat. Sometimes it's frozen, which is not a process. And you all know Denise does not like her meat frozen. That's a terrible thing to do. I don't. If I'm going to make a roast, I'm going to go out and buy it and make it. If I'm going to have burgers, I'm going to go out and buy it. I don't think I have any ground beef in my freezer. I don't like frozen meat. I personally feel it gets tough. I do. So I prefer, but again, that's a personal choice of mine. If you don't, if you can't get to the store that often, I totally understand that. But yeah, I don't like frozen meat. Chicken, I don't mind as much, but beef, forget about it. I'm not a fan. I don't think I'm even pork, it depends. Maybe a tenderloin is fine, but yeah, pork chops, forget about it. I'm not freezing pork chops. That ain't happening either. All right. Why we get on that subject, I don't know. Group 2, processed culinary ingredients. Olive oil, cream, butter, syrup, sugar, honey, and salt. You're not taking honey right out of the hive. They have to process it. Same thing with salt. You're not just getting a hunk of salt out of a salt mine and eating it. There's always but they're lightly processed. And I will tell you, olive oil, cold pressed, extra virgin olive oil is the best thing around. It is so good for you. It is so minimally processed. Stellar. Expensive? Slightly. Group 3, processed foods. Canned vegetables, meats, fish or fruit, bread, cheese, and wine. Beer and cider. I'm not sure why they put beer and cider there. So it's canned vegetables. It all includes meat, anything canned. In order to get it canned, you have to process it. You're not just sitting there putting something in there and throwing it in a can. No, you got to process it. Give it a sort of a process. So it's not in its 100% natural state. Again, but still a decent option. I'm not going to sit there and tell you canned vegetables are bad, because they're not. But they are. People don't realize, if you're eating, unless you, kill, I'm looking for, pick your vegetables and eat it. It's going to be processed. Freezing is most times are flash frozen. So that's, again, it's slight process, but not, it's a group 2. So group 4, which is the ultra processed, which is what this video is about. Now, these are a lot of your prepared foods. And you know what? Sometimes we need convenience. Am I going to sit there and tell you, don't buy ultra processed foods, they're terrible? No, I'm just going to sit there and say, kind of limit them if you can, because we're all busy. We all don't have all this time to sit there and cook up like Queen Elizabeth. We got to sit there. We have jobs, we have families, we have pets, we have lives. So we don't want to spend all day in the kitchen. Or maybe we have something to do and this is a quick night dinner. What can I do? That usually falls into ultra processed foods, which are sugar sweetened beverages, packaged snacks, prepared frozen dishes. And sometimes you got to eat them, because I'm telling you, I'm not going to sit there and tell you that that's a hugely bad option. Just don't have it continually. Protein shakes, which is so interesting. I love how they put that in there, because they know everybody on WW's into the protein shakes, but they are considered ultra processed. Canned soups and chicken. And a lot of times those things also have high, say it with me, salt. Because it's a preservative. It has to. It's not because they're saying, well, that now they can't technically leave it. They could, but I don't know how it wouldn't stay, So yeah, so I always say, if you're going to have something that's really high in sodium, drink your water, help flush it out. Is it going to be 100% effective? But it's going to help. Nothing in life is 100% guaranteed. Even if you sat there and ate all from group 1, are you guaranteed weight loss? If you're above your points or calories and macros, no, you're not going to lose weight, even if you're eating everything from group 1. You have to stay what they call a deficit. Now, I've seen people eat a lot of ultra-processed foods and still lose weight. It's whatever your lifestyle can offer you. I can't sit here and say that. I can't I would be doing it injustice by saying only eat from group 1 and group 2. Group 3 and group 4 throw in the trash. No, because in life you just can't. Sometimes stuff comes up. Like tuna fish is in a can, which would make it ultra processed. We know tuna fish is high in protein. And like the one coach said, she said, some of those ultra processed foods are high in points and some are low. Like the canned tuna is 0 points. Protein shakes are minimal in points because of the protein. Same thing with the tuna. So that's why the point system is there. And I think people don't understand the difference between points and calories because yes, it could be a highly processed food. Yes, it could have more calories than you, but it's in the end, those calories are made up of protein and fiber and not of saturated fat and sugar. It's a whole process. I know. I try to understand it with you, and I don't always. Think ahead to the holiday season. What is a meal or food that is important to you to incorporate? That it's a no-go to give that up. Now, a lot of people were saying pumpkin pie. A lot of people were saying pecan pie. Their stuffing was a huge one, or dressing. Different things. Like, there's things that you have to have. Absolutely. There are things we have to have on the holidays that make it a holiday. Of course it has to be food. You know, if nobody told you that holidays do revolve around food. I had a leader that said, and I didn't like this, she goes, holidays shouldn't revolve around food. Now, that's great to say, but the reality is they do. And if you go in there thinking they don't revolve around food, you're not going to be prepared. So I'm telling you to be prepared. They revolve around food. And not always light and healthy and delicious. No, light and healthy for us food. I say pick the thing that you want, and that is what you focus on. For me, it's going to be the stuffing. Let's just start with Thanksgiving, because we'll get to the other holidays later. Your turkey is minimal. You know, vegetables, minimal. And most of the time, I am a person that does not I just like a big sweet potato. I don't like all that. I just don't like it. My parents loved it. We never did. So again, my potato is a good choice. So the worst thing on my plate, and it's not even that bad, but when you consider, is the stuffing. And that's bread and veggies and deliciousness. And I'm thinking about it right now, and my mouth is just watering for it. It's just so good. So I incorporate that. That is important to me. And I want to have at least 3/4 of a cup to a cup, because that's what I want. And it's funny, if you really listen to your body, I know it's a new thing for us. When you're eating your Thanksgiving dinner, I lay bet you're going to be satisfied. Like, are you still hungry? Like, ask yourself that as you're eating, because if you're not and you're really satisfied, save it for the next day. You don't have to finish it. You don't have to eat. Just because you put it on the plate doesn't mean you have to finish it. Many times I'll be like, you know what? I've had enough. Especially because I want to have that pumpkin pie. And to me, I don't mind the swap out pumpkin pie, the crustless one. I think it's good. I love the taste of pumpkin, and I want the whipped cream. To me, that's, I don't feel deprived. And that's the thing. If you're going through the holidays and you're sitting there like, I don't have what, if you're feeling deprived, you don't feel like you don't have what you want, that is a diet mentality. And we don't want to be on a diet. We want to be on a healthy lifestyle. We just have to learn the skill power over willpower, because if you sit there, I won't eat that, I'm going to go in there and not eat it. And then you see it, you smell it, and you can almost taste it. And you dive mouth first into that bowl of whatever it is you didn't plan for. So use our skills, set yourself up for success for the holidays. Make sure you eat a very delicious, healthy, high protein breakfast. Don't starve yourself all day. Think about it. Sit there, look at all the food, decide what you want to put on your plate. Eat it slow. That will be helpful. If you inhale it, they're still eating. You're just like, I'm done, and you're licking the plate literally. You're gonna go back. I'll just have a little bit more. Go back and have a little more turkey. That's fine. I would say go a little turkey, but yeah, it's one of those things that we have to teach ourselves discipline, because let's face it, I can only speak for myself. I didn't have any. I just want to have more. Nobody tells me now, but now I learned that I cannot eat that. I should not eat that much. That's too much. And I remind myself of that, because And I don't, please, please, please don't do the feel sorry for yourself and be like, well, I've worked all year and I deserve to have a second helping. That's the pity party. We do not want to throw ourselves a pity party. Guess what? You could have some more the next day. Fit it in again. Like my other coach, I think it was the same one. I think it was. She said, holiday foods on holidays. Well, yeah, I get that mentality. But, I mean, if you could control yourself, you should be able to have a little stuffing the next day. Yeah, I'm not going to have the same amount. I may have a little less, but I'm still going to have it. I'd rather have that instead of bread, and it's going to be gluten. I've had a lot of gluten. That's probably been my downfall. Oh my gosh. Last week, did you see how puffy my face was? Oh, the gluten. It's killing me. But, it is what it is. But that is the weekly topic for this week. Let me know. What is the one thing that you will not give up? Now, like we said, remember that, was it last week or 2 weeks, about the shrink it, swap it? Like, can you swap it? Can you shrink it? I mean, if you really, really can't, then make sure you track it. Oh, I like that. And don't be alarmed if your tracker has way too many points on there. Oh my God, I'm in the, so what? So what, you're in the negative, it's a holiday. Don't beat yourself up about it. But if you've tracked it, you've owned it and you've accepted it. But when you don't track it, it doesn't exist. Let's join me in living in the real world. Let's live in the world we live in. We eat something, we own it. As long as we try, and that just also reminds you the next day to look back and you'll be like, that's right, I ate all my points yesterday. I need to behave today. That's what that does. That reminds you, because if you didn't track it, you don't see it, you're like, oh, No, don't lie to yourself. The one person we lie to mostly is ourselves. And I think I did a video about that. The lies we tell ourselves. We deserve it. We earned it. It's only once a year. Yeah, and then 2-3 days later, you're feeling guilty. You're feeling like crap. You don't need to feel like crap. Eat a decent portion and own that. Track it and move on and enjoy it. Eat it slow. So that is it for me. Let me know how your week went. Was it good? Was it bad? What thing did you do right this week? There had to be something you did right. Are you doing I had a lot of people enjoying, they might do the everyday weigh-in. And I have a lot of people in for the no gain December. So I'm up for that. So yeah, we're going to, like I said, it might be a slight gain, but we're nothing like, the damage. You can gain between what did I say, 15 and 18 pounds between 6 weeks. It's mostly those ultra processed sugared things that get me every time. I know, we're just trying to work on that. But like I said, a lot of people at the WW meeting agreed, and they said too, if I leave something out, if I say no to everything, like then I feel like I'm on a diet. If I just can control that or minimalize it, then that's a win, and that's a lifestyle. You cannot just say no to this, and it's not reality. And the reality is people have lost eating those foods, So if you've not yet hit that subscribe button, join us here at Dish with D. You have a great rest of your week. I'm not sure about vlogs this week because we have a lot going on, so I don't know. But I maybe could do a video like this. I have a few things I wanted to talk about and a few tutorials I wanted to film, so maybe we'll do those instead. Just can't vlog with people banging and hammering. And, oh my God, the door was open for 2 hours. So that's why I'm in a sweater. I was freezing. And I turned the heat on when he went for lunch. So I will see you, my lovelies, in a video very soon. Thanks for watching. We got this. We do.